Call the Administration and Finance Committee to order. Roll call.
Why you pay for it?
Dr. Murphy?
Here.
Dr. Murphy is present. Ms. Castillo? Ms. Castillo is not present. Dr. Davis?
Here.
Dr. Davis is present. Ms. Ellis? Ms. Ellis is not present. Mr. Garvey?
Here.
Mr. Garvey is present. Ms. Holloway?
Here.
Ms. Holloway is present. Mr. Mellarine?
Here.
Mr. Mellarine is present. Mr. Morris?
Here.
Mr. Morris is present. Ms. Orange Jones? Ms. Orange Jones is present. Mr. Rock? Mr. Rock is present. Ms. Gautier?
Here.
Ms. Gautier is present, and you have a quorum.
The consent agenda is ready for approval.
Okay, may I hear a motion? Motion by Mr. Mellarine, second by, like that. Motion by Mr. Mellarine, second by Mr. Rock. Any objection? Hearing none, motion passes. Next item.
First item is on page 10, item 4.1, consideration of LDOE and RSD contracts greater than $50,000. Recommendation is to approve.
Do I have a motion? Motion by Ms. Orange Jones. Need a second? Second by Mr. Morris. Any questions? Dr. Davis.
I have a recusal from item 4.1 LSU Ag Center Farm School Program.
Okay. Anything else? I have a recusal from item 4.2. Anyone else? All right, any objections to the motion? Hearing none, motion passes. Next item.
On page 30, item 4.2, consideration of federal and state grants and allocations to LEAs, Type 2 charters, Type 5 charters, improved non-public schools, and community-based organizations, competitive and other. Recommendation is to approve.
Need a motion? Motion? No. Motion by Dr. Davis. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Morris.
Recusal.
Recusal, Dr. Volke? Okay, and this is the one I have the recusal on. Anyone else? So is Mr. Rock a recusal? Anyone else? All right, any questions concerning the motion? Any objections to the motion? Hearing none, motion passes. Next item, please. Well,
It's not about this item, but I have a question, and Dr. Brown, maybe you can help. In regards to ESSA dollars, so think ESSA last couple of years, how much, where can I find how many dollars have come into our department? And the timeline, what does it look like? What are those dollars, ESSA dollars designated? What categories, what districts may have received this? And of course, I was trying to jot something down. And are there new ESSA dollars coming in? Will we continually have this, and what are we projecting?
Are you referring to ESSER dollars?
ESSA.
ESSER?
ESSA.
Okay. So those are the, there were essentially 3 different allocations over the course of time. One that was available through September of 22, one through September 23, and one through September 24. 90% of that funding rolls out to the LEAs. We had state set aside, and any spending that we have done in those, we've always tried to make you aware of that. We also have our comeback website, LouisianaComeback.com, where you can go in and look by individual system and where they utilize their funding. If you have a specific request for some
I do, like
information,
how many dollars have we received? How much has been expended? And how much are we expected to receive?
we've already, well, we don't receive it because it's basically a reimbursement process, but the total was around $4 billion for K-12. And I mean, I have.
Can you get something in writing? Can you?
Yeah, we have it.
Sure.
It won't take long at all. I just don't have it with me at this very moment.
Right.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I think we
Absolutely.
get an update a few months ago, the key performance indicators
Yeah.
on there and all the categories.
Okay,
So then
how long?
But I will get you the total amounts, I'll get you the buy of the three different allocations, like total encumbered, what's remaining, et cetera, and I'll get that to you in the week.
Oh, that's fine. And I think my next question would be, are districts incentivized in any way to spend? Is this where the grants take place for a district?
And so 90% of it goes directly to the district. So it's theirs to make decisions on. What we have done with our state agency set aside is we've had a combination of allocation or competitive opportunities or state priorities. And so that's how we use our state funding.
And
I'll
what's
give you an
left
example,
over?
so like the state funding for ESSER would have been financing the science of literacy training for all the K-3 teachers across the state, or developing long-term science of reading training. We invested in setting up the state's broadband office to get it up and off the ground, the needs office. So we have a combination of state agency priorities and then competitive allocations that roll out with our 10%. But I'm happy to share all that
Do
with
you
you.
have to spend it within a given amount of time, whatever's allocated to you?
Yes.
Like within that year, you have to?
September 23, 22, 23, 24.
Okay, so September, okay. Got it. Thanks.
Ms. Fisher,
Yes.
Ms. Holloway, my understanding is that, Superintendent, correct me if I'm wrong, my understanding is that we have a KPI for every one of those ESSER investments, so we know what the investment is, we know what the investment amount is, we've got a goal for each one, and you guys are tracking that, that's my understanding.
Right, and we built out, or in the process of building out, a new dashboard to show that, both with the ESSER work, with the agency priorities, and some of the critical goals. And so there's KPIs for all of that. We've been getting feedback, and are still in that process, and hopefully within the next couple of months we'll be doing it forward.
Okay, I thought,
We haven't.
we've seen bits and pieces of
Bits,
it.
okay, not
We
the whole
haven't seen the whole deal.
spreadsheet.
Right, but we, at least I'm convinced that, that it's totally comprehensive, that there is a KPI for every ESSER investment, again, with a target, with a goal, and an actual, so we know what the delta is, right? So I guess this is what the ROI is. And my understanding was that we're going to get the full reveal, I guess, in June.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we have shared that information over the last few years, but what Mr. Morris was referring to is a new dashboard that we've been in the process of developing. And so our goal, and we talked about this, Dr. Boak and I actually spoke about this too, is looking at a June date for that official rollout, to share that more formally with the public.
Perfect. That's good. Thank you.
All right, any other? Okay, next item.
On page 85, item 5.1, consideration of AG program and budget revisions on statewide grant programs for fiscal year 2022, 2023. Recommendation is to approve.
Need a motion to approve. Motion by Mr. Morris, second by Mr. Rock. Any questions? No cards? Public comment? Any objection to the motion? Hearing none, motion passes. Next item.
On page 27, item 5.2, consideration of AG funding cycle activities, approval of AG statewide programs for fiscal year 2023, 2024. Recommendation is to approve the program.
Need a motion to approve? Motion by Dr. Murphy, second Mr. Rock. Any questions? No comments? Any objection to the motion? Hearing none, motion passes. Next item.
On page 119, item 6.1, consideration of a status report regarding the 2023 regular legislative session. Recommendation is to receive the report.
Need a motion to receive by Dr. Davis, and second Mr. Morris. Do you have any kind of presentation? No? All right. I have a comment which coming from police on oppose the recommendation, wish to speak, Dr. Paula Coleman, conference. And as she comes up, opposing, not wishing to speak, Dr. Katrina Jordan, Opposing, not wishing to speak. Nicholas from Lacty. Opposing, not wishing to speak. Dr. Arthur from the University of Louisiana. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Paula Calderon. I'm Dean of the College of Education at Southeastern Louisiana University, and I'm also the Higher Education Representative for the Teacher Recovery, Recruitment, and Retention Task Force. And I wanted to speak specifically on Senate Bill 81 and the other one, I believe somebody may have to correct me, I believe it's 191, 197. 81 is Senator Peacock's bill about the associate's degree. And when the Teacher Recovery, Recruitment, and Retention Task Force discussed this, it was presented as someone with an associate's degree who is enrolled in one of our 20 public and private Louisiana University teacher preparation programs. That person with the associate's degree, if enrolled in a teacher preparation program, could serve as teacher of record in the classroom. We also asked that a minimum age be put on this, because right now you can earn an associate's degree in high school, which means at the age of 17, you could begin teaching as teacher of record. We asked that the age be 25. I see that Senator McMath has put 21. We are still opposed to this. The universities are opposed to this, and the task force is opposed to this because Senator McMath's bill says that you can be enrolled in any undergraduate program. So if you're getting a bachelor's degree in general studies, in something that I don't even know if they offer, a bachelor's degree in basket weaving, I'll just say that, you are allowed to be called teacher of record with an associate's degree, and we're opposed to that. The second one is regarding being teacher of record with a bachelor's degree and after 5 years becoming certified. And please correct me if I'm wrong on this one, because I may have it incorrect. Right now, the bill reads that if you have a bachelor's degree, you may serve as teacher of record. So if you have a bachelor's degree in history, you can teach high school social studies. After 5 years, you become certified. In my program, if you have a bachelor's degree, you may go through the Master of Arts in Teaching or the post-baccalaureate non-degree, but you have to pass praxis content to get in and praxis pedagogy to get out and to become certified. The inconsistency that I see with university teacher preparation programs and everybody else is fairly blatant, but I am happy to be corrected if that is not how the law reads today. Thank you, and I'm happy to answer your questions.
Anyone? Does anybody have a comment on this? Dr. Davis?
So, I don't remember seeing the 5 years in a classroom as the teacher of record and then getting certification. Did I miss that one in our packet?
Maybe Mr. Moore.
That has to do with Senator Peacock's bill, and last year he ran a bill that if anyone has a master's degree, if they have 5 successful years of teaching, they certify, essentially. And so this was, he has turned that this year into bachelor's. It's not a request of ours, but he has done that. He's turned that into bachelor's because that's what he wants to do. And so I assume Dr. Alderon is right, that that's what that does.
Mr. Lawson, you come up, you look like you had something to add.
I was just going to make a slight clarification on the 197 Senator Peacock's bill when it comes to the bachelor's degree portion of this. It is only in emergency situations for that portion of that that's in the bill. While that is not something that we have asked to be put in that bill, that is something that Senator Peacock has brought to expand on his master's degree bill he did last year. It's only in a critical shortage. It has to be, they have to search for a teacher that's available, so someone who can apply for it already. there's different criteria that has to be met before they just accept that in for the bachelor's program. Now, that is in the bill. We have discussed with him some of the complications with that. So that's, I just want to clarify that that would only be an emergency critical shortage situations.
As it reads right now, does the bachelor's have to be in the specific content area that the person will be teaching?
So in the master's, it does have to be in
But
that.
what
So the
about-
bachelor's, it's the same thing as it would be for the master's as well. It would have to be in the content area.
And then no exiting, no praxis, no nothing, right?
No, ma'am. After 5 years of successful evaluation with a mentor teacher, they would be offered full certification. For the associate's degree, which is SB 81, that one does not have an automatic certification at the end of it. So if they would go through a teacher prep program, they would have to go through the normal process for certification through that. And if it was through, if they did a different bachelor's route, then they would have to then go through the alternative certification process. So 81 does not have, similar to the master's program, once you're done with these 5 years, you automatically get certification.
Is there a requirement that once they have their associate, do they have to be enrolled in a teacher prep program while they're teaching under the associate degree?
Not in a teacher prep program, it could be in any bachelor's program. They have to be enrolled in a bachelor's program. That's how the bill currently reads.
And are we anticipating having any discussion with them for any modification on
You're referring to Senate
that? Referring to the associate degree?
Yes, we are reaching out. We're going to share with them, as we have before, some of the concerns. But ultimately, he is the author of the bill. But I have a listing of concerns. Dr. Calderon's already shared some of those with you all today. We're going to take those to Senator McMath and see if there are any adjustments that he might like to make to negotiate. You also made suggestions too. So we're working to get that scheduled. That bill hasn't been set for a hearing yet anyway.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other, Dr. Davis?
So, Ethan, did you say that the 5 years in the classroom with just a bachelor's, it does not automatically result in certification?
So two different bills. So let's talk about the associate's teacher bill, SB 81. That one is the one that you could teach in a classroom with an associate's degree while you're enrolled for 5 years, the term, and while you're enrolled in a bachelor's program of some sort. After 5 years, does not have a pathway to direct to long-term certification. You would actually have to then go through an alternative certification pathway for that. When it comes to the bachelor's, that's in Senate Bill 197, which is Senator Peacock's certification bill. That one, it does have an automatic certification at the end of the 5 years of successful evaluation from working in that school district in a critical shortage area, which is consistent with his bill from his law from last year, which was around the master's program, the master's degree.
And so I just, correct me if I'm wrong, I just feel like I watched you and Maxine and Ed over LEAP scores regarding certification, like I guess it was, I don't know, it's probably been 6 months ago. Do you remember that when Senator Jackson was using the legislative auditor's report that noted that charter schools don't have as many certified teachers and that certified teachers are associated with higher LEAP scores? Am I remembering?
I recall, I get grilled a lot at the table of the legislature, specifically in that committee. But I do know which one you're talking about. I remember there was a range of topics, but there was some discussion around certification. Yes, ma'am.
I guess I'm just really deeply concerned about the inequities across education providers in the Louisiana environment, where we have different sets of standards surrounding what they have to do to be in a classroom, and this legislation seems like it is only going to be compounding that. And so you said that the one that is the 5 years in the classroom with the BA and the master's, that one has not been set to move, so the officers have not discussed it yet?
So what SB 197 is set on this agenda. We have supported, Bessie leadership has chosen to support that one because it has all of the certification changes in there. But that section we have shared with the author is of concern from the officers, and we talked about that yesterday. So that bachelor's degree portion in there, that was what the author put in, because we're only at the will of the author at this. And when they are in a fiscal session, when they're all getting dumped into one omnibus bill, we have to kind of work with it. But there are substantial things in 197 that we need to get done to make sure that our certification is streamlined and working properly, and also giving us the GPA flexibility that was removed by accident last year with Senator Peacock's bill. So that is a section that we've discussed with him, and that he is amenable to working with us on. We just need to see how we can get that across, and it's very early in the process.
Yeah, I really would like that if we could have further discussion with him on it. The bachelor degree situation, I mean, we have teacher preparation programs through universities, through teacher prep providers in an alternate pathway. If this were to become law, I guess anyone with a bachelor's degree in the area could go into teaching 5 years automatically, become certified, and bypass all the teacher prep programs, which have much more in it than just content. And we just got through, you talked about the science of reading a little bit, saying that in all of our programs, we're trying at both the university level and the alternate provider level for teacher prep to make sure that's incorporated into that teacher preparation pathway, so that by the year 2025, our teachers are exiting with certification in that training. So I'm a little concerned with this provision to say anybody with a bachelor's degree go into a classroom, stay there 5 years, you're automatically certified, and you bypass all of the instructional strategy training, all of these things that we've been trying to put in the science of reading. I know we're looking at numeracy and such. So I'm not sure that's a pathway I think is really prudent for us to go down. So I would ask the department and other groups maybe to have some conversations about this to see what we can do to maybe amend this section and put some more safeguards into it.
Any officers in our conversation with him flagged this particular issue, and Ethan has made a note, and so he does intend to have follow-up conversation.
We already have some amendments in the process of being drafted for 197. That one we just need to be able to talk with the author a little bit more around that specific section. But we have highlighted it from the beginning of the bill.
Please take into consideration all the trainings we feel that teachers need before they step into the classroom, that we're playing catch up right now and doing it. And we were hoping that in the next year and a half to 2 years that people will be coming out of the preparation programs fully trained in these processes that we wish them to implement.
Yes.
Okay. Any other discussion on this? Yes, Dr. Bowman.
Well, I just want to flag that we want this to be a collaborative process. We're going to do the best we can. There's a lot in this legislation, so I appreciate how we all come at this with diverse perspectives and are in touch with different stakeholder groups. And so we don't have the opportunity to meet after every particular conversation, but I'm listening to the feedback that you're saying about this SB 197, is that right, in particular? And so I want to encourage you guys to continue that conversation with us, and then if you flag for one of us that you feel like we need to reconsider a position, that's certainly something that Mr. Castillo and Mr. Morris and I can come back together and take that into consideration. Because we're trying to make a decision based on a summary and then anticipate where the board would be. I do appreciate the principles that we passed. I think that gives us some guidance and understanding, but it's a collaborative process, right? It's not a perfect one. So I'm hearing you on, and I'm going to just start writing them down and taking notes and that kind of thing. So, and I do appreciate those of you who have already reached out about legislation that's particularly interested, something that you're particularly interested in, and it helps me to know which ones to go and study more closely.
Dr. Davis?
Would his bill allow, so I know, so you have certification and then you have add-ons to certification, like, so this would would a BA in history be allowed to be the teacher of record unsupervised in a self-contained special education classroom? Like, would that technically be okay?
It would have to be in their discipline. So if it's a BA in history, they would only be able to teach like history, civics, in that area of things. I'm not under the impression that it would be in a special education classroom.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any other questions? All right, we have a motion and a second to receive the report. Any objections to receive? All right, hearing none, motion passes.
That completes your agenda.
5 minutes.
Next meeting will be